Today, we're doing Hearthstone, the movie.
Yay!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Screen to Screen. I'm Andrew, and this is Chris.
Why, hello there.
So this movie, we're thinking, is going to be based on the commercial, the short.
Yes, I think that is a great idea.
I think the style is right, like the animation style. Like, I think let's just take that and make it into a movie. So we have Ava, the girl in the commercial or short.
Yes.
And she's kind of in the woods and it's cold, and then Sarge, the mouse, finds her.
Yeah.
And then she kind of gets like warped into the world of Hearthstone.
The world of I mean,
I don't know if that box contains Hearthstone or it's just a portal to Hearthstone. The tavern is like the place where everyone belongs, no matter who you are. It seems to be like, I mean, that's the point of the commercial, because it's like, everyone can play this, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
But yeah, that's sort of like the feeling, like she comes in and they're all very friendly to her. Even like the big scary orc is friendly, you know, like everyone is playing the game fair and everything like that.
Yeah.
I imagine most of the movie's going to take place in this tavern.
Yeah.
It's going to be like the Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
You know?
A bit of a bottle movie.
It could be kind of like the Hateful Eight. Maybe, you know, it's snowing out and they're all stuck in there, you know? Like, it could be something like that.
And that's why, like, if you want to have any amount of, like, well, why are these people that hate each other all having fun in a tavern?
Yeah.
It's because they have a bit of a ceasefire from this big old snowstorm outside.
It could be kind of like Hateful Eight in that way.
And when she gets to the tavern, obviously she probably doesn't have money or anything. Like, she's from a different place. Yeah. So maybe the very nice bartender, the tavern keep, maybe offers her a job. She's now she's a server now.
Okay.
And like, as she's working in a bit of maybe a montage, she sees all these people playing with these weird cards that do all these fun things. Because in the short, like, the cards are not just normal cards. Like, they do stuff. Like, you see, like, the mini dragons pop out of the cards and everything. Like, New Pack Day is a short they did. Like, that could happen.
Yeah, that could be in there. And there's, like, some tavern regulars. Like, people don't necessarily, like, they're not, like, passers by, you know? Like, they're people who come to the tavern for a drink every night, you know? Yeah. She sees the same people. That can be kind of fun. Like, there's a lot of things like, how'd she end up in the woods? What is she like running from? What is she running to? I'm just throwing out like ideas of why like the girl would be like on the run. On the run. Like, is she getting like some elixir for a sick relative? I mean, that's kind of a ticking clock there. If she's hiding from someone, that's a little more like, I'm going to hide out in this tavern for a while. That seems to fit a little bit better.
I like her fleeing from someone.
Yeah.
Like, we could make it as tragic as we want. Like, her village was wiped out by some scary dude who has nefarious goals, blah, blah, blah.
And maybe she has to, like, save the town or something. Like, she's sort of, like, the only one to escape.
So maybe she is the last of her kind. Like, magical people, and someone's hunting her because they're a collector of some kind. Like, they just want her for nefarious reasons. So she flees, the mouse helps her, she ends up in the tavern, starts playing Hearthstone, we get into the game, we have, like, fun learning montages, she's getting better and better, and then the person finds her. But she has a whole tavern protecting her, right?
Right. I like that because it's sort of like, oh, he shows up, but now I have friends. Well, I'm safe, and that's a good midpoint.
Yeah.
But then something happens, and she's got to play her own. Like, she's like, I feel like the end has to be her playing a game of Hearthstone.
Yes, against this villain.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like figure out how we get
like
to that.
Maybe she bets like again, like I don't know how she gets there, but I imagine she probably bets the lives of all of her village on this one game of Hearthstone.
Ooh.
You know, that seems to be how it would go.
I mean, if she's the last one instead of the village, like, she could bet it all. There we go. I got it.
Okay.
All right. So they find her. It's bad. Maybe the villain gets chased away by the nice, friendly tavern. But next time they come back in force. Like, there's a bunch of people, and it's like, if you won't give me the girl, I'll just burn the whole place to the ground.
What if he doesn't come back twice? The first time, it's like his dopey henchman.
There we go. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh, the danger's here, but it, you know, they're easily, you know, the tavern people like shoo him away or whatever.
Yeah.
Even like the creepy guy whose name I can't remember is like, you know, I imagine like what's his name?
I like that. I like that a lot because now we can do.
Like Valeris is like I don't know if you know the characters' names or at all. Like,
I don't know that one.
I don't know Hearthstone, but so he seems like kind of a troublemaker, but I kind of see him as like a Snape character.
Yeah. Where
like he's the first quote enemy she makes there, but when it comes down to it, he protects her. This bad guy could be sort of like it could be like a Two-Face or a Thanos, where like random is fair sort of thing, and maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually an interesting theme to go with, because games like these card games like Magic or Hearthstone, there's a lot of chance, but there's also a lot of skill.
Yeah.
And so it could be skill versus chance. Maybe the bad guy is sort of like it just so happened that you were the village that I took over, and that's fair. and so when he's playing a card game, he stacks his deck to win, to hope like he's going to draw the right cards, but she's playing more strategic or something. Like I don't know, I'm kind of like making up as I go along.
I mean, he could be playing like he came in with a stacked deck. It's all legendaries. It's like super powerful cards. That leads us in for a lot of fun dialogue from like the supporting cast of it's cheating.
Yeah, he's not very good at the game. He just has all the best cards. Yeah.
Meanwhile, like she's a very smart player. She knows what's going on. She starts figuring out what kind of deck he's playing and playing against it. I'm not really going very deep into a lot of the World of Warcraft stuff. Like, I like the idea that these are just characters we see in like the tavern brawl situations and in the shorts that they've been putting out, because we don't want like the baggage that comes with World of Warcraft, like it's the sort of Alliance like, and the Horde.
I see this as sort of like the Marvel movies versus the Marvel TV shows, where they're technically in the same universe, but don't think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. But, like, we could pull, like, the villain could be a villain from the game world. Like, it could be Jiraxis, or it could be, like, any number of, like, demons that usually have nefarious goals.
I was thinking of the goblins, Fuse and Wick.
Oh, yeah.
They're, like, fun little... I mean...
We even have in...
Are they maybe the henchmen?
Ooh.
Like, I don't know. Or are they just, like, one of the creepy regulars there, like the comic relief?
I think goblins are good as the henchmen because they make for good bumbling, like...
So Fuse and Wick will be the bad guys' henchmen.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. It really feels like the whole theme of the short is like everyone can play this. Doesn't matter how old, Yeah,
it's a game for everyone.
It's a game for everyone. And that I feel like the bad guy has to have the opposite thoughts. He has to be,
only the best should be allowed to play.
Only the best.
That's actually a fun idea, because one of a meta conflict of the game of Hearthstone is that there are two communities. There's the professional, the pro player community, and these are people that hate the random elements of the game. Like, they don't like the idea that something random might happen and take the game away from them. Like the casual community enjoys the random things, and more so the viewers like the random things. Like, people that watch tournaments really like the random swings because it makes it very exciting.
My thought, like, I just, as a writer, I can't make the pro the good guy. Like, I feel like it has to be the noob has to be the good guy. I support
the idea that the villain is very much like only the best should be playing this game. I mean, here's a fun idea. Like, maybe his whole thing is he shows up at a place, he challenges like the mayor or whoever to a game of Hearthstone, and of course he's a pro, he has the best deck, he wrecks them, and then when it's all over he's like, looks like your town belongs to me now. And forces them all into a mine.
I think that's good, except there has to be also like muscle like I think it's sort of, he shows into a town, he has a bunch of soldiers.
Oh yeah, it's not like he wins and everyone's like, well, I guess you won. He's
like a grifter. Yeah, like he shows up and
he's one of those villains that believes that he is completely fair,
right?
Despite the fact that like he has like all of these huge thugs behind him, and it's like, well, of course you have to agree with what he says, otherwise you're gonna get beat to hell.
Right. It's like, I tell you what, if you could win one game against me, I'll leave. And of course they never do because he's very good at it.
Yeah, he has the best deck and he has all these muscle behind him. She runs away looking for maybe help.
Yeah. Or maybe just at first, like, it could be something that's sort of like the Lion King where she fails to save everyone. And so she's so, like, she hates herself and she has to leave, you know? And then she finds this sort of Hakuna Matata little...
This is good because when she gets there, she could hate the game at first because that's her one experience with it. And then it's one of those, no, don't worry. No, it's a fun game.
Yeah,
like, you had a bad time, but it's actually really fun.
Yeah, maybe she goes and she's like, you know, working on the staff and she doesn't even want to, like the game, like, just makes her, she's got, like, PTSD with this game. Yeah. But then she meets all the people, and even the scary people are nice.
And, well, we could pull more things from the short. New Pack Day has, like, that adorable little Morlock that everyone's like, no, don't give him any of the cards. That could be kind of the adorable but sincere bumbling sidekick that gets her back into the game because he doesn't understand. Like, he's just a simple little guy.
Yeah, right.
And, like, that helps her.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So her arc goes from, like, fearing the game to, like, tolerating it, to accepting it, to liking it, to being very good at it.
Yes.
I like that. That's a good arc. And then at the end, so it's sort of like by confronting the game, she's confronting her fears, she's confronting her guilt.
Yes.
And it's sort of helping her sort of work through that. And then at a certain point, she's like, good, I'm over the guilt. I've overcome this. And that's when the bad guy really comes back and now she's got to save the tavern because my new friends are going to, you know, and I imagine, you know, I don't know how to get out of this, but I imagine just the way how stories work. She wins the big game and now in all fairness, he has to leave them alone. And even, you know, maybe she doubles the stakes. You have to let my people go.
Yeah.
But of course he doesn't. And now I feel like there's like a one more final battle. And I don't know what that is. It just seems like he wouldn't go, well, fair's fair, bye. Like, I feel like he wouldn't do that.
No, he definitely wouldn't.
Maybe he the two goblin henchmen turn on him, you know, it could be part of it. Maybe they start cheering for her near the end, you know, because they're dumb and that's what they do. Maybe she wins the game, but it's like he creates like, all right, like one last thing there's a tavern brawl and I make the rules, you know, something like that. Like, I don't know, I think that'd be kind of fun to have a tavern brawl being like, you know, he stacks it way against her.
Yeah.
It's some sort of like, just first thing that comes to my head, maybe it's some sort of like magic amulet that will, once it's tavern brawl is won, it sucks the loser into the amulet and banishes them. You know, something like that, where it's like he can't say no to it. It's magic.
Yeah.
And we could establish that way at the beginning too. Like, maybe, you know,
maybe the tavern keeper has that amulet.
Maybe.
Like, it could be one of those, like, what's that? Oh, well, we have that for particularly troublesome members of our community. But that's good, because that could be, like, he sets the rules up, and he's, like, putting it all together, and it's clearly stacked against him. But the tavern keeper has faith in the girl.
Right,
like, it's one of those, like, oh, you could do it.
Like, everyone in tavern has faith.
Yeah, they all...
At this point, she's won everyone over.
Yeah.
Even the snooty guy.
Even the
goblins.
But, like, that could be, as the villain's, like, setting up his victory, and, like, he's very confident. Because he knows, even if he loses, he'll cheat. Like, he'll just be like, nah, whatever.
Right.
Like, it's more of an ego thing with him. Like, he likes winning. But if he loses, he's not going to actually be good to his word. And that's when the tavern keeper walks over and, like, puts the amulet on the table. Why don't we why don't we keep you honest?
Let's make it interesting.
If we want to save the village in this movie, then maybe the events should be villain shows up, she wins, villain begrudgingly leaves but laughs over his shoulder like, oh, you get to keep your tavern, but obviously I still have your family. Like, one of those dark laughs, door closes.
Yeah.
And then she has to go and confront him, and, like, maybe the tavern comes with her.
And he let her win that time.
Yeah, because he's just like, I don't care.
He's trying to, like...
raise the stakes?
Yeah. Like, maybe he needs her specifically.
Maybe this town has like a magical amulet or something. Okay. Like, and it keeps their water pure.
It could be also like the banishing amulet.
It could be the banishing amulet.
I don't have too many amulets.
It could be like whatever we need it to be. Like, the town is important for some reason.
It's like a KS Emerald or something.
Yeah. But when she ran away, she took that with her. Or didn't take that. She took like the activating element with it. Like her necklace her father gave her.
Is she like holding anything in the, I don't know, like in the
I don't recall.
Or like I can see that like maybe her mom gives her like take this far away, keep it safe, get out of here, keep the amulet safe.
And that's why she's not going back. She's running away because she has to run away.
That's good, because that way she's not really a deserter, but she still feels guilty.
Yeah, she'll definitely feel the guilt, but she's doing what she has to do.
But we know as the audience she did the right thing.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
When the villain realizes, like, what I need isn't here, like, goes to the tavern, loses on purpose because he's trying to lure her in.
Yeah.
And he knows he has the good deck, just trying to inspire false confidence in her. Maybe the people in the tavern realize that.
Like, maybe the amulet needs to be activated in the original town for it to work, and so he needs to get her there. And the end of Act 2, she has to go back to her town.
Yeah.
And maybe she takes a whole bunch of her friends with her. Or maybe they show up. Maybe, like, the stuffy one shows up, like, on his own or something.
Or maybe we could go and she sneaks out at night. Like, she doesn't want to endanger the tavern's people. So she sneaks off to go back and face this person on her own. And, of course, things aren't going the way she expected them to go. Things are looking dark. And then in her moment of need, all of these people show up to support her. And, like, that's the turning point in the final confrontation. And, like, even the snooty guy.
Yeah. I'm wondering if we want that to be a surprise to the audience. I think it would make a fun, like, sort of B story, like a surprise to her.
Yeah, surprise to her, but maybe not a surprise to the audience.
You know, they have like, oh, where's Ava? She hasn't come into work, and then like maybe one person's like, well, she's gone, and she's going back to face like
the Murloc. Barely talk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maybe she like it's like opens up to him, like she tells him everything, but it's like, what's that boy?
She leaves in the night, and he like starts banging on the door.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's good. I like that rhythm that we're putting together.
And it could be kind of fun where it's like the way we frame it. The audience is like, oh, they're gonna go save her, but when they get there, the whole point was we're gonna cheer her on.
Yeah.
Like we as the audience didn't know that. Like they had more faith in her than we thought.
Yeah.
Because she actually is very good at this game. I just want to like flesh out the middle a little bit. All these like tiny little B plots. We have the Snape guy, and maybe that's her first. It's her first hurdle, like, or maybe not her. Maybe it's her second hurdle. I don't know. Like we have her learning, like, just kind of getting used to the tavern. Like maybe she's lived in a town where everyone's human and everyone's pretty much keeps to themselves, and here's a place where everyone is like aggressively jovial toward each other.
Everyone's very, because they're all the rules of the tavern.
Yeah, they're like all extroverts generally, and maybe her town was like they kind of kept to themselves, and
because they were protecting the very important thing.
Yeah. Like everything's very serious,
and dancing was outlawed.
Well, I mean, like I'm
just joking.
No, I know you're joking, but like that sentiment could be interesting.
Yeah,
because maybe their responsibility is so great that it's not. And again, it could be kind of.
That could be a lesson that they learn.
Yeah, right.
In the beginning, they're too strict with her. They're not letting her have fun.
And because no one's even ever played Hearthstone, they lose the town.
Yeah.
Like not to say it's like their fault for getting taken over, but it's just sort of like it's one more thing for her to kind of come out on top of.
Yeah.
It does make me kind of think of Lion King again, because maybe she's like reprimanded for being too playful, and then it's framed again, Lion King. It's framed as though she believes she's at fault for having her town get taken over for whatever reason. She was goofing off that day, and she wasn't like guarding the gate or something. I don't know. It
could be a gated town. I like that because the villain could show up. And he'd be like, I'm just here to play a game.
Right.
And she's like, oh, I never got to play a game, and lets him in.
Ooh,
and it turns out the game is this stakes super high.
Yeah.
Losing the village.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't come in necessarily with all his army and then threatens people. It's that once they lose, then the army shows up. Oh, no. The rules are very clear.
Oh, it could be like a bit of a magical thing. Like, once they lose, the magic kicks in.
Yeah. It's
and
like
then like all these like scary things.
Now it's Beauty and the Beast. But I keep thinking of Disney movies. But yeah.
I like this because this all happens because the townspeople insist that everyone needs to be like low key, no fun allowed. We have a responsibility. It's our chosen destiny.
Yeah,
she's rejecting that because she's a child. She wants to have fun. So that's how the villain gets in. That's the kink in the armor. So she learns to fear and hate the game, but she needs to unlearn that. And the village learns like, well, if we do this, like it's just going to cause problems. We need to let children be children.
Right.
We need to learn that like responsibility doesn't mean giving up everything.
Right. Yeah, that's good. And so, I think what kind of got us into this is she's in this new environment with a lot of different people from all over the place. They're all having fun. They're all having fun responsibly.
Yes, responsible.
Because I at the very end of the short, it's like she wins the game or something, and like the orca's like, "Argh!" It's like, play nice, and then like they shake hands, and that's that sort of like, maybe she's been told like, like. Games bring out the worst in people, that bring out the competitive nature, whatever. And here is a place where people are being competitive, but they're also following the rules and they're playing fair and they're,
Yeah.
So let's just start in the second act. Let's see how far we can go.
Yeah.
She's lost. She needs a place to stay. The mouse gives her a place to stay. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have any money. She tells the innkeeper what she's been through, or maybe she doesn't. Maybe she has to keep it a secret because she doesn't know who she can trust. But she basically says like, or maybe there's someone in the bar who's like a spy or something. Maybe that's like Wick and
one of the gremlins, one of the goblins.
Yeah. So maybe she's told that, like, trust no one on the outside because this guy's got, people everywhere or whatever.
His eyes and ears everywhere.
And so she says, like, she's lost and she needs a place. She doesn't have any money. And so, like, the innkeeper, he can't just send her away into the cold. So he's like, we're pretty overstaffed as it is, but, what the heck,
We could always use an extra helper, can.
And so she's just taking this job. And for her, it's like, kind of the worst job because because she's in the midst of this game that ruined her life and she's forced to look at it every day.
Every goddamn day they're playing this game.
And so she tries to like not get into it. And then after a while, like maybe, the Murloc, there's like kind of, how they have that scene there. It's like, no, I don't play this game. And yeah, like I can't. And then maybe like, at some point she goes over and sees someone playing and she's like curious and I was like, so what is this exactly? Like, how does this work? How does it, because I don't know if you played the game originally and lost or maybe she's asking for like tips or something, or maybe she sees someone play and they're like, it's very funny. Like two very silly characters play the game and she like laughs for the first time since her village got.
Oh, you know how to laugh. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's like, there's a smile. I think this would be pretty good. Valeris. Maybe he represents the pro players.
There you go.
So it's not really about like this is about like
that is the persona they gave him in the short.
Yeah,
like you see him throwing the cards over his shoulder.
So he's like the soft bad guy, where it's a pro versus amateur. That's the soft. Sort of villain.
Pro versus casual.
But the two of them, they're just card players. There's nothing more. They have a healthy antagonism.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's sort of like the small win. She beats him in a game, and he kind of, she earns his respect.
Yeah.
And that's more growth there. So all right. So Ava lives in this town, and this village, and they have like a sacred stone.
Yeah, they're protecting a thing.
So maybe it's like a sacred mana crystal or something. I mean, that could be
I like
cool.
that. Making it a mana crystal, he could be like looking to collect mana crystals. It ties into the game a little bit.
Yeah. And so he comes to town kind of unassuming, and he challenges her to a game. It seems very weird. I don't know her yet, and no one does because it's the beginning of the movie.
That's true.
But
too.
It seems kind of like super reckless to bet your town on a card game you don't know anything about. I think there's two other ways around this too. He comes into town with his army and says, "We're playing this game, and only if you win, all right, can you get out of it?" Like
we can still have her open the doors because maybe
yeah. And then
this is a world of magic. He could summon his army once he's on the inside.
Right. And then the other idea is that the way it's worded, it doesn't sound like she's giving the town up. Like he says it in a very sneaky way. He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like, "Well, as I said, blah, 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 blah." Like, but that's not what but that's what I said, isn't it? For whatever reason, she is responsible for losing the game in some way. And in doing so, kind of dooms the town. And she escapes with the mana crystal, I guess, and...
or maybe like the key or the code that opens the area for the mana crystal. That way she doesn't have the thing. Otherwise, why is he trying to lure her back to the town?
It's magically sealed. Like he like the B plot while she is while she's at the tavern, he's back and he's like talking to like all the people. It's like, "Where is it?" You know, like, "I can't get in here," and like he's using magic to open up like the vault.
He's trying to force the father or the mother to open it, and they just laugh like, "We can't do it. Can't open it."
Yeah, well, maybe like someone cracks, like
someone else.
Yeah, someone else, like, and he knows where she is, and that's when he sends the henchmen out, or maybe like one of them was already there, and he reports back.
I think that works. Like we have the scene where he learns that she's the key, and coincidentally, one of his little gremlins is... I keep calling them gremlins. One of the goblins is already at the tavern.
He overhears her talking about like what she's done or whatever, and it's like, "Oh, that's the one." And so he goes back and tells like, "My lord, I found something incredible." And because this is a magical portal that got her to the tavern, it's a very long way away. She took the shortcut.
Yeah, it's far enough away that we have plenty of time to stay in Act 2.
That actually, I like that because it lets us use the portal, not just like wave it away. It's important to the story that she has more time than the bad guy has.
It puts distance there.
So then, like, the bad guy catches up with her. She ups the stakes to sort of free her town.
Yeah.
You know, she's much more confident now, and she talks her way into a match. She kind of plays with his ego, like he's just going to like kidnap her, but it's like, "Oh, you know, picking on a little girl, you don't think you could win against me again?" You know, something like that, and so then they have like the big, like the stakes are high, and maybe even maybe like a Hearthstone brew. He's like he volunteers. Like, "You could have my tavern too," you know. Like he steps up. She wins, but he was prepared for that, and there's some sort of like loophole where it's like, "And now the tavern brawl, where I decide the rules," and that's when they put like the you mentioned he had like the amulet at the beginning. Like this is the thing that got her into trouble. Yeah. The amulet says, "What I say happens." Like the magical amulet that makes rules happen. Yeah,
the binding...
The binding amulet, the rule binding amulet, he places on the table, and this time it's like the loser gets banished or whatever. And so they play a tavern brawl, it's stacked against her, but like, I don't know, something that Valeris, the pro player, taught her. She uses that to win the tavern brawl, and everyone's saved. And now the town is like, "Hooray, we can play responsibly now. It doesn't have to be a life of oh, this is interesting."
Go on.
They were already in a life of servitude, weren't they?
Oh, they were.
They were in service to their magic amulet, and now they're truly free. They didn't realize, you know, that they're already bound to a doctrine.
Yeah. If you have some good ideas for like the fun midpoint moments, like what are those fun Easter eggs? Which Warcraft characters are going to be in the background of the tavern? Who's she going to learn lessons from?
You guys probably know Warcraft better than I do, at least.
Probably better than me too, because I played a little bit of World of Warcraft, but I haven't really played anything past Cataclysm, so... And of course, if there's any other stories that you want to see turned into a movie, let us adapt them for you. Give us some ideas. What do you want to see?
What does he say when you start the game? It's like,
oh, it's cold out there, but there's always room for one more.
That's the one. That's the outro.
Bye.
Bye.